God, my husband. Okay. All right, hey guys, so it's day 13 now, so this is the second to last day, but this is the last project. So today I'm gonna kind of bring in some of the other project elements into a wreath. So I have a little bit of something on the outside of my door or my entryway, a little zhuzh before you come into my little spooky lair. All right, so the goal for today, like I just said, is really just kind of bringing some elements from the other projects into this. If you want to do a wreath, which I highly recommend, because honestly this is a very quick project, very easy, and everything's from the Dollar Tree, so it's cheap, babe. But anyways, the supplies you're gonna need. I originally showed you this metal frame, which you can use, but honestly, for just the flowers, it's much easier to get the foam one so you can stick it into. This is at Dollar Tree. It was just not there when I originally did my haul, but I highly recommend you get this one over the metal frame. However, I will say this, for Christmas time, this is gonna be perfect when I go to make my monster wreath from Nightmare Before Christmas. So, I'm gonna hold on to that baby. But anyways, you're gonna need your foam frame or foam wreath. You're gonna need some flowers, which just get the ones that you like. I picked up the purple and orange. I just really liked how these looked together, so I grabbed these. And then also, for as far as some of the projects, I know you didn't get to see this because of my technical issues with my dang camera, but I'm gonna use some of my painted pumpkins. These are just the little guys from the Dollar Tree. All I had done was basically the inside ridges, I darkened up a little bit with some brown, and then I literally just did an orange layer of black neon paint. So hopefully these kind of glow a little bit in the light. So I'm gonna use some of the pumpkins, so the painting pumpkin project. And then lastly, because this is kind of small, I made a small little duct tape Nightmare Before Christmas bow. So that's gonna be the other project element that I'm gonna bring in. I think that's all I'm gonna do because this is so small, like I said. We can see if I end up adding any like bats or spider webs, but I think this is gonna be it. So if you don't know how to make a wreath, I'll go ahead and show you, but honestly, it's a lot more simple than you think. Don't overthink it. Really just stick some flowers in your foam, call it a day, all right? So let's go ahead and just jump right on into it. All right, so there is some prep work involved here. It doesn't take long, but you do need to disassemble your flowers. So essentially pull apart your stem, take your scissors, and you can kind of cut through it, and then you need to wiggle it around until it snaps. You could also just pull out a stem, take your scissors, and basically cut through the wire while you bend the stem over the metal of the scissors, just like this. However, if you end up having some flowers with thick wire like these, you're gonna want some wire cutters. I don't know if they're at the Dollar Tree, but they're pretty inexpensive regardless. But you can tell that these were tough. Now when you actually do the cutting, you need to be around 3/4 of an inch to possibly even an inch below the base of the flower, so you have enough wire that can stick into the foam. You really want to make sure that these stick far enough in so they remain stuck to the foam and don't fall off. Now what you don't want to do, it's tempting, but you don't want to pull the flower off the actual wire stem. If you do this, you're not going to have any actual wire to stick this into the foam, and they'll all fall off. Now to assemble your wreath, honestly you kind of just need to play around, but my tips are, if you have long branchy ones like these, lay them down first. You can cover up the green by pulling them up and putting the flowers underneath like this, but putting the long branchy stems on first really just kind of secures your shape a little bit better. After that, just figure out where you want your flowers. I'm using a bunch of purple and I'm literally placing them all around the wreath except the back end side because I'm really trying to make sure the green is covered. Now some additional tips as far as visual interest goes, you want to have some variation in color, so I have the purple and orange, but you also want to have variation in size, so I have large purple flowers and small orange flowers. The other thing too is having a variation in texture. So the flowers obviously are smooth, but then those kind of twiggy sort of stems add some texture, and then this striped bow also adds some texture. So I literally just secured it with some floral wire wrapped around directly around the bow, and that was it. And then again, for more visual interest, I added some of my small painted pumpkins into the large flowers themselves, just to give that kind of contrast in size. And then I was done. All right, I'm all done. I ended up deciding to take the orange flowers out. They didn't look bad, but honestly, I felt like it kind of detracted a little bit. So it was enough just with my orange pumpkins here. So that's kind of one thing I guess with a wreath, is just play around until you like it. You know, it's honestly a quick enough project and it's simple enough. You're literally just pulling flowers off and sticking them into some foam that you could honestly just play. Keep doing it until you like it. So this is my finished result. I think it's cute. I love it. So I'm gonna put this on my front door. But again, this was a really quick, easy, cheap project. So I ended up, especially once I took the orange flowers off, I only used 4 stems of the like bundles of flowers at Dollar Tree. I used 6 pumpkins, which 4 come on 1 pack. And then I had 2 stems of these sort of, I don't know, this nice texture, long, stringy purple one. I don't know what it is. And then my little duct tape bow. So all together, this was what? It was definitely less than $10. I think it might be $8 roughly. And that's pretty cheap. Wreaths can get stupidly high. So I think it was fun. It was a nice project to kind of end on since it was so nice and easy. But again, I will see you guys tomorrow and show off all of the projects that we have done so far. This doesn't necessarily mean this is all the Halloween decorating that I'm doing. This was just the simple projects I was able to do for this YouTube boot camp. So overall, I think it was fun and I think it was good. So I'm excited to show you guys tomorrow. But until then, I hope you guys are doing well and you have a great rest of your evening. Bye. You're on camera now.
This is the best shot you're gonna have all day.
I know.
Hi. You should wave too.
Hi. You're so lame.
I'm the best.
Yes, you are.
Come on, Max.
Oh, Max came in too.
Yeah, I stole them.
Oh my gosh.